Nothing Phone 1 Long Term Review. Introduction. The Nothing Phone 1 was definitely one of last year's hype bests. But was the hype warranted, or is it in the end just a nothing burger? Is there something to it, or is it simply nothing to write home about? Well, stop now, but these puns do write themselves, and that might be part of the reason why nothing choose to call itself that. It makes no sense. Everyone cries, and yet it's instantly memorable. And if you're a startup, you definitely want to go for memorable over that makes perfect sense and day of the week. So that's how we ended up with a company that's definitely making something despite calling itself nothing. Its first smartphone was always available at it's also intergoing. It is it in its own right. It's a mid ranger like many other, but it's also a mid range unlikely and other on the market still with its hard focus on design, be that in the iPhone inspiration to it or the unique rare look it brings to the table along with the associated glaf LEDs. It's not just the back through, it's the only Android mid-range with truly s- symmetrical screen bezels still. What we have there, what we have her then it is device hyper to the mode and back with specs that are nothing out of the ordinary. Sorry, couldn't help it, and with a design that's at the same time heavily inspired by something and unique, which seems like the grand, grandest possible contradiction, and yet it's not. It been a long time since we went into a long term review being this curious about the glitch sounding what it's actually like to live with considering all these factors. If you're also curious to find out how much of the hype it is based and how much is actually based on real qualities that this phone possesses. If you want to learn all about it's like to use in early 2023, we have a few upcoming pages for you to consider without spoiling anything. Say one thing, this was definitely not a boring experience, as the Nothing Phone 1 is not a device to just slide into the background and sight there untouched, unmarkable. Nothing Phone 1 long term review. Design looks. It it looks like an iPhone that's the comment we heard from 9 out of 10 people seeing this device while we had it for this long term review. Especially its back seems to promote prompt that reaction, which is funny since the only thing on the Nothing phones rare that clearly resemble an iPhone are the two camera protrusions. Otherwise unable, Apple's done a transparent back handset. We aren't aware of these can't be more different, and yet we you can't deny it. Just look at it. Can you explain exactly why it feels like that? Can we? We're not sure, but we'll do our best. Cameras pulse flat sides plus the radius of the curvature of the corner pulse plus the circle inside a circle in the middle where the Apple logo would be, and if we flip to it to the front, then we'll add the symmetrical bezels to the mix. But it's also obviously not an iPhone, just it's just a device that's meant to remind you of an iPhone.